We are creeping up to Armageddon on Bitcoin, but where exactly are we plummeting from? This is Hedge Alerts, and today I'm going to be breaking down some price analysis, some technical analysis, and I'm going to try to give as accurate of a prediction as I can, but I don't know the future, and neither do you, neither does anybody. So take this all with a grain of salt, do your own research, learn your own technical analysis, and form your own opinions. Where we left off on my last video, I believe we were around this price point right here. We were around 19,000. We had just touched support right here at 1,800, and it looked like we were getting ready for a move up. After that, we came up and we touched the resistance downtrending line. We touched it at 3 points here, here, and here. In my video, I suggested maybe possibly getting into a short position. And that right there was the short position I was talking about. The thing about this play is it was very nerve-wracking, as this easily could have pushed up all the way here to 22,300, around 21,800, that kind of area. So I was being very cautious, and I didn't actually enter a short here. I've mainly been entering longs, trying to anticipate this break. In the past, I've usually seen with these massive downward flag patterns is you usually see a break to the upside right before you crash and come down and retest all-time lows. And right here we are fairly below the weekly EMAs. So what I'm expecting here at some point along here is for this to break out and come up around this level here, anywhere from 22,300 all the way to 21,800. And I'm looking to sell my longs at that position and possibly start building up a short. I'm looking for a touch of the EMA, or possibly a bit of an extension from the EMA to resistance, and then a bit of a plummet down. Previously, we saw something similar with this giant flag that formed up on Bitcoin a while ago right here, and I traded this. I shorted this all the way down. This was at about 48,000. It peaked up to 48,000. I was expecting it to bounce and retest and plummet after hitting the 50-day moving average. But it did push up a bit, and it retested this resistance area right here, and then it fell down. But as you can see, typically this happens, at least in my experience. It's very common for a bearish pattern to show up, for it to follow the EMAs bearishly, to break out a bit, to test resistance, to test an EMA, and then to plummet. I've seen this quite a few times over my trading career so far, and I am expecting the same to happen here. Will it happen? I'm not sure, but the likelihood of it happening is greater than it not happening, and that's how I trade. The past few days have also been extremely volatile. These candles are crazy. It's been very hard to trade in this range. I suggest to anybody trading to reduce their position size and only really take trades that they see great opportunity in. Like right here when it was testing lows at 18,000. I was not awake for this. I believe this was later at night for me, so I didn't catch this move. But when you do see something like this, I'd suggest to take a position in it rather than trying to trade in this mayhem. And I got caught up a bit in this. Not too bad. I was taking profits as much as possible, but no one's perfect. I still made some very good trades, and if you were in the Telegram group, you would have seen I made some great plays. I made some great calls. But right now, for Bitcoin, what do we see? Currently, we see it's kind of following the daily EMA trend bearish right here. We see this kind of cluster over the last few days since Wednesday. It's following the EMAs in a bearish sentiment right here. So this right here really is the breaking point for Bitcoin, whether it's up or down. If you can see this trend right here, we're following this trend. We've touched it. We started here, touched it 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. It's very indecisive, and it's very hard to understand what this wants to do. Right now I've got a long position in, after this constipulation right here, I believe that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I saw this move right here, and I actually got short right here at this EMA right here and wrote this down a bit. I took my profits off about here after this thing came back up. I took my profits off about right there, and then I got long right here and kind of just put my stop under the support right there. And I've ridden this up so far, and right now we just touched the area of that resistance line. So it came up, it came down a bit, and it followed the EMAs up. And that right there is a great sign that there is enough money to push the price upwards into the trend, right? So right now, this right here really is a crucial moment for Bitcoin. If you look on the 4-hour too, it still looks fairly bullish. We could easily see a break to the upside, a huge break to the upside, up to these 2,500 levels around here, and even possibly all the way up to the 21 to 22 range. I'll be posting my price targets in my Telegram group the entire time to anticipate this move and to anticipate when we're taking off targets, but also I'm going to slowly be getting short at some of these levels and adding small positions. I'm being very cautious because when this thing rips, all these shorts, all these tops right here, or people have shorted here, people have shorted here, here, and here. At 4 places, there have been a great amount of short sellers. And as this goes up, these people are going to get stopped out, which is going to push the price even more, and there's going to be a ton of buying pressure. So to short this move is going to be very hard. It's going to be very dangerous, and you could get liquidated very easily if you aren't using the correct position size with the correct amount of stop loss, with the correct stop loss amount. But after this move, after this bullish move, after this bullish break to the upside, if we can test this EMA right here to 2,800, we could even see 22,600. It's possible if we touch the top of this EMA right here and we touch the top of this wick, this weekly candle right here, that right there, we could see a huge retracement all the way down to 14,000. Right? We could see all the way down to 14K. And that could be a great buying opportunity for someone. That's the thing about these moves is you don't have to catch everything. If it's too hard to catch the move, to catch this short, stay out of it and don't lose money and just get into a long position at a easier place to get into, like 14,000, right? It's not just Bitcoin that we see bullish sentiment on. It's also Ethereum. I was trying my best to trade Ethereum earlier, and it was very tough because it was being, like Bitcoin, extremely hard to trade with all the extreme wicks that were going on here. Very hard to anticipate. But right here, we've had a bear trap right here, tested support and bounced right back up. And along with this, I also got long Bitcoin, and ETH right here is showing great power. Right now we're seeing a test of the daily EMA. If we can close today in the next 5 hours above these EMAs, and at the same time Bitcoin can break that downward trend, we'll see some massive runs up in the market. We'll see massive moves, and we'll see great opportunity. I got long right here on ETH at a great position, in my opinion. Right after I saw this come right back up, I saw that this was a clear bear trap, and this thing was going to push up, and that's exactly what we saw. I got long right here at about 1280, and we pushed up, had a test of the EMAs, and are going up again. And this right here is actually slowly forming a bit of a flag pattern. Right here we're seeing a common resistance point at about 1336. We're seeing a trend here. We're seeing it's, again, very hard to trade, but we're seeing some higher lows, higher low, bear trap, and then push, right? So this could come up to these levels, and depending on Bitcoin, this thing could just break out right here and come all the way up to the top line of this channel we've got going on. But we could also just see this push with Bitcoin and come all the way up to these, 1700 levels. We could see the test of this, which is 1420. We could see 1570. And then we could also see all the way up to 1760, this area right here. It all depends on Bitcoin. It all depends on the stock market, right? But right now, I'm seeing very big bullish moves. And if it doesn't go bullish, then all of my stops are set to break even so that I'm not losing anything, because that's very important. It's very important to not lose. That's the main thing you want to focus in on trading is preserving capital rather than making gains. And I make this point all the time. It's the only thing I talk about, but it's very true. If you look at the US 30 right here, we've bounced off this kind of box here, support on the 4-hour, bouncing at about 30K off the 50 MA, and the US 30 is on a run up. So is the SPY, slowly pushing up. So right here on these charts, the stock market is making a run up too, and that's just going to further perpetuate Bitcoin's bullish move. I've also got long here on Matic. This is typically a bearish pattern, but I saw a great opportunity here. I got in at about 8107. One of the main reasons I got into Matic is I saw the previous strength that Matic was holding, the bullishness of it and the way it was running up compared to everything else. It was very strong. I got long in Matic earlier too, a few days ago, and it was going very well. So I think Matic has a lot of buying power right now. Whether this goes bullish and goes all the way up to $1, or this does follow this pattern and break through to the downside, or it tests this upper line right here, whatever it may be, I see great strength in Matic too. And that's basically my analysis as of October 22nd. The market is looking fairly good. It's all just dependent on what happens right here. This really is the move right here, and this is the catalyst for what's going to happen in the next month, in the next few days, possibly in the next 5 hours. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. I post some shorts on TikTok as well as Instagram. I'm gonna have more content coming for you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys later.